Hey, I'm out in Miami and I was inspired to tell you something that I just learned from a trader who made over 8 figures this year alone. And he's made 8 figures consecutively, year after year. One thing that he mentioned to me that I think is lost in the trading space is competition. Healthy competition being a motivation to push yourself to your limits. In the retail space, we always talk about how comparison is the joy of thief. We don't talk about competition enough. So what I'm going to do for myself, because I'm a very competitive person, I'm going to use that as a drive to help me achieve some of my goals. Normally, I set very high goals, macro goals, and I start very small. But since trading is a performance-based skill, I'm going to use competition, healthy competition, to help me as a motivator. So there's a website called Kinfo where verified traders post their P&L and they use it as a journaling system. I'm going to personally sign up and I am going to work my way up the ladder. I'm going to push myself and do whatever I can to get into the top 10. Once I'm there, as he shared with me, I'm going to study whatever nuances I need to study in order for me to eventually reach number one. Now, this may seem crazy, right? Like, you're gonna compare yourself. You're gonna lose sight of what's valuable. Now, this is a mechanism that is lost amongst our society in many ways. There's a book called Boys Adrift. He talks about how competition often pushes people beyond their limits. It gives them resilience and fosters creativity. I'm not talking about superficial competition. Who has the biggest watches? Who has the best cars? I'm talking about who is the best in their craft, who is the most skilled, who is mastering their craft as a trader. That's what I'm going after. He talks about how when competition in a field is eliminated or excessively diminished, how boys can lose motivation. Since I am a man, I'm using this for my own study purposes. So she says that we often need clear challenges to stay engaged, a clear purpose to stay engaged. I want to push myself beyond to reach the top. So if it's only financial stability that I'm after, then I'll become complacent. Now, the goalposts can move. I recommend that everybody watching this video, email yourself how much P&L you need to see, how much money you need to make in order to be satisfied. Email it to yourself. I've emailed myself already because going this route, can be endless. But the competition, the drive to be competitive and to perform is something that I feel is missing in the retail space, right? Like Kobe said in one of his interviews, he said when he was younger, he had a kill list and he watched different people and he said, you know what? I'm gonna become better than that person. I'm gonna become better than that person, right? Eventually, he surpassed those people. But it wasn't some egotistical or maniacal thing. This was him identifying them as challenges and milestones that he could use as markers to measure himself and where he is in comparison to the other top athletes in the field. And some of those people are my friends. Some of those people are currently my mentors. I look up to them. But this is about me and my journey and what motivates me. Some of you may have played video games growing up where you were competitive, but Dr. Sachs talks about how video games can provide a false sense of achievement. Now, I haven't played video games in a long time, but hearing that trading is a place where if you compete, there are real world stakes. So bring out that competitive nature, bring out the hunter, bring out the competitive person who wants to win, and pour that into skill development, pour that into after hours work, pour that into focus and discipline. And I think that if you take this up as I am, not just, looking at charts, it's not just all about, chasing P&L. If we focus on mastering the skill together and competing, I think we'll all drive each other to become better. So I'm making the pledge now that I'm going to do this. So the first person that you should compete with is yourself. However good you are now, tomorrow you want to aim to be better. The day after that, you want to aim to be better, right? I shouldn't be the same trader that I am a year from now. I should be much better. So that's the first person. Find a group of people that are okay with tracking or showing their results, and you all have a competition. Make it process oriented, especially if nobody's making money. So me personally, I'm going to work my way up in the stock world, in the stock space. I was on leaderboards in the eval space, but now I'm a part of the stock community, and I'm going to try my best to become one of the best in that space amongst the retail traders. So let's look at some of the Kinfo accounts together. So you got Jack Kellogg. This is the all-time leaderboard. Jack Kellogg on 14 million. So we got Jack Kellogg, 14 million. Stephen Ducks, 12 million. Now, the 8-figure trader that I interviewed, he went on Kinfo. He's on Kinfo, and he made his public, and he was #1. And he actually, with this all-time list, he surpassed even the guy here on #1 just in this year alone. So he's on a different level. But nothing against these guys like Jack Kellogg, Stephen Ducks. They didn't start off in a firm. That's the difference. The guy that I'm talking about, he started off in a firm. So his capital that he started with is much different training, different experience. So big shout out to the guys that are on this list. They made this list, and I'm impressed because they started off with a much smaller amount of money, especially Jack. So we have Madaz, who is at 8.9, Kyle Williams, who I know personally, at 6 million. Man, and it's impressive. We have a few people from, let's see, so we have some others, 2.6, 2.5, 1.8, 1.7. So in order for me to hit the top 10, I have to make 1.7. And I know EDU Trades, great guy. He has a platform for Spanish-speaking traders. Trading with Tim, I met him at Traders for a Cause. So 1.3 million. KYCE, this guy, I don't know his name, but I saw him when he was at like 250K, right? So he's at 1.2 million. And yeah, so top 10, let's say top 10, definitely above $1 million, okay? Top 20, just about, definitely above $1 million. So at 500K, you're in the top 30. All right, so let's do it. I mean, to be #1, right? Now, when it comes to competition, the thing about it is that everybody is competing in their own lane, right? So maybe Jack, for example, who I don't know personally, but I know of him, he's at 14 million. He may say, you know what, I'm good. He may go do something else, right? Competition, performance-based skills, they always change. You always have new records, right? So this is just to help me keep the drive up, for me to say, you know what, I want to be one of the best retail traders that's known, right? And I'll have my verified space on Kinfo. You may look at this and say, well, somebody's at, 1 million, 2 million. You guys are watching me on YouTube. There are some people that I used to watch and I've surpassed them, right? So, everybody's in their own lane, everybody's in their own space. It takes consistency, it takes hard work. And I challenge you all, right, to make a milestone, make a goal that may seem impossible, or something that may seem ridiculous when you tell people about it. I remember listening to Kobe, and he was like, his team that he had, because after he retired, he started several companies, and he said he would talk to the team about ideas that they had, and if the team was like, oh yeah, we can do that, he said, no, that's not the one. He wanted to challenge the team. He wanted them to do projects that made them second guess, made them become creative and push them to their limits. And that's just the type of person that I am, right? Living on the edge, I'm always trying to push myself, and that's just what makes me happy, right? That drives me as a person to unfold my soul, is for me to be the best at whatever it is that I'm doing, right? I don't even like going to the court and playing basketball because I suck right now. I'm 5'6", right? Basketball is a tall man's game, but I don't even like just hooping for fun unless I can make some sort of contribution to us winning, right? And that's just how I am. Listen to Michael Jordan, you listen to Kobe, you listen to some of these guys, they just love to win, becoming better, incrementally, nuances and variables. That's something that I love to do. As a father, I want to become the best father I can. So I read books, I do trainings, I do seminars, I get mentorship on how to be the best father. I want to be the best husband. I want my wife to say, man, he was the best man that I've ever known. Right? If I were to die, I want the people around me to say, Abdullah made an impact in my life, He motivated me, and it just pleases my soul to try to push myself to be the best. Will I always be the best? Will I be the best? No. There's always somebody better in the world. There's always somebody taller, faster, slimmer, wider, stronger. They can think faster, right? So that's always going to be there. But what I'm doing is unfolding my soul, and you guys are watching and supporting. And I appreciate you all. I appreciate the community that we have together. This is one of the episodes of the Small Account Challenge. And I will see you all on the other side. I'm about to hop on the plane. So yeah, she talks about how in Boys Adrift, how parents and educators have to strike a balance and allow boys to fail. It's universal for both male and females. The trading space, similar. We need to give ourselves enough room and time to fail and take risks. Don't put too much money at stake before you're ready, before you build a track record, or else you kill your ability to take risks and experiment, right? Create a space of play and an environment that you can play in. I have a lofty goal, and you may say, what if you fail? And you may be afraid to have lofty goals because of failure. But here's the reality. Tim Grover, the man who trained Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, the GOATs, some of the greatest athletes to ever live, he said,
if you think the price of winning is too high, wait till you get the bill from regret.
So I came up with an idea. I decided to come up with a challenge that will help drive everyone to their limits. I'm going to put on a competition that consists of me placing people into groups. Over 30 days, each team will gain points for doing process-related things every day, filling out the daily report card, looking for playbook trades, doing their review. If you want to join this competition, we did one back in April last year and people loved it. It's intense, it's 30 days. Click the link in the description to join the competition for more information. Please like and subscribe. If you want to follow my Small Account Challenge, watch this video.